Hello, hello, and welcome back to The Designated Designer, a podcast by designers for designers and clients alike. In today's episode, we are totally flying by the seat of our pants. Welcome. This is just the stankin' good way to do things, I guess. So this week was kind of crazy for me. I did a lot of really cool things. On Monday, I had a dentist appointment, so I had to take the entire day off, which was really annoying because it's up by my parents and I live about 2 hours away from my parents. So to drive 2 hours one way for the dentist was just ridiculous. I ended up staying at my parents' place over the weekend so that I could go to the dentist and then drive back to my apartment after. However, that chewed up an entire day, which was kind of annoying. So Monday was shot for me this week, but then Tuesday I tried to jump right back on the wagon as much as I could. And I'm hauling so hard on this brand package that I'm working through. I ended up running behind schedule because I didn't factor into the equation. I had a mixer event on Wednesday, a networking event, and that screwed up my schedule. So I was honest with my client and I just let them know, hey, I'm running a little bit behind schedule, but it's because of the super exciting thing. I am introducing a brand new brand guide. I am so excited about it. I purchased the brand guideline template from Abby Connick. Shout out to my girl Abby yet again. She comes in clutch. I purchased her. What did I get from her? Her contract. It was her contract, I think. I'm pretty sure it was. I think I did buy that. Pretty sure. I don't know why this feels like my first purchase from Abby, but I do know that I had her contract, whether it was a freebie or whatever. I am obsessed with Abby's stuff. It is literally my favorite. She is so freaking organized. And then it's like you download it and you just think it's going to be the best thing in the world. And somehow she manages to completely blow away your expectations. And there's little video guide tutorials in there and links to her YouTube where she walks you through the little package kit. She's just amazing. I hope I could be half of what she is someday. She is such an inspiration. But anyway, I ended up getting her brand guideline kit and I am obsessed with it. I'm so excited to implement it into my personal process. I think it's going to change the game for me and I'm so excited about it. But in doing that, my original time estimate for this client, where normally I'm just prepping a 2-page brand guide, now I'm prepping a 30-page brand guide. So it really threw off my timeline a lot. So I just let them know, hey, I'm in the process of this super exciting new brand guide that you're actually getting just included in your pricing, even though that wasn't factored into the pricing initially. So it's they're getting this little, hidden freebie goodie as part of their project. So I was like, hey, this is really exciting, but unfortunately, that's the good news. The bad news is it's taking a little bit longer. So I just let them know. They're a super friendly client. I'm not worried about it. It's just, I get in my own head when I end up getting behind schedule and then I just ruin my mood for everything else. I'm I'm behind on this, so why even try, but I'm gonna keep trying my best. I actually didn't even want to film this podcast today and I wasn't even prepared to film this podcast today because usually I pre-script these a little bit, but we're just winging it today because it was a crazy week. Also, this mixer event was awesome. To anybody listening that's a designer and you're struggling and it's leads are drying up or you're not getting leads or the leads that you are getting, you're not getting accepted or whatever, and you're just struggling bringing work in the door. I can't stress enough. And CJ said this, but I didn't want to listen to him because I'm an introvert and I didn't want to listen to him. But he said that, networking in your community, literally going business to business, knocking on doors, talking to people in real life, giving them flyers and things like that is so important. And I've been struggling, been struggling to bring work in, been struggling to keep things moving at a steady pace and all that good stuff. And this Facebook event popped up on my feed and it was a local networking event and it was a speed networking event where a bunch of businesses go and you get 8 minutes per table and you get to speed network and just pass out cards and pass out flyers and things like that. And I was like, this feels like it was sent to me. I felt an obligation to go, even though I really, really, really didn't want to, but I forced myself to anyway. And I'm so glad I did For any introvert that's out there, I know it's scary and daunting and like you just get the ick. You don't want to talk to people, but it's so important. Like it helps so much because you're pushing yourself to do something that you don't want to do. And that in and of itself is a really good thing to do from time to time in order to keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And then that way you keep growing, that's always a good thing. But also like the people that you get to meet. The one client, I sent them a cold email months ago and I'm obsessed with them and I want to rebrand them. Like I feel like I was called to rebrand this company. I love, and it's a heating and cooling company, like it's not like a branding agency or anything like that. I just really look up to these guys because I see how much they care about their community. I see how much they care about their quality of work, and they deserve a brand that reflects that. In my opinion, if you're doing work that is just that exceptional, you deserve nothing less than a brand that accurately represents your level of craftsmanship. So I've been obsessed with these guys for like a really long time. I went to this networking event and sure as shit, they were there. And I was trying so hard not to fangirl, but I couldn't help myself. And I got to meet them and I got to introduce myself to them and be like, hey, like I'm such a big fan and this is what I specialize in. And I would love the chance to help you guys. And I literally like told them that shamelessly because at this point, I just don't care how weird I sound. I want to be myself. And they were like, please stop by our office sometime. I want to talk to you more about this. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing. And now I have an opportunity to get to work with this client that I really want to work with. So it's really important to do that kind of stuff. Long story short, it threw my whole week off and I didn't get to plan for the podcast like I wanted to. So we're winging it, and that's okay because I want you guys to be part of every process, not just the good times. I said this is going to be the good, bad, and ugly. So got a little bit out of whack this week, but we're going to make a recovery. So I'm filming the podcast anyway, even though I told myself I didn't want to. And yeah, let's just do it. Okay. So this morning, while I was doing my workout, yay, finally got back on track with that too. I try to stay consistent with that just because it sets me up for success for the day. I know it sounds stupid. And honestly, I was one of those girls that absolutely hated working out and I would never do it willingly. But at this point, it just kind of helps clear my head because I've come to understand in running my own business, my thoughts just spiral and it gets so bad. Like I have so many thoughts and I feel like I'm forgetting everything and I'm not getting my important ones written down and it's just a mess. So working out, starting my day with a workout helps clear my head and kind of set me up for success for the day. So finally getting back on track with that because I fell off the wagon for like 4 days with it and I'm trying to be consistent doing it daily. So that was like kind of making me feel bleh, but got back to that this morning, and while I was doing my workout, oftentimes that's when my creative ideas kind of come to me. So that's really important because it's a space where I can clear my head and I don't feel an obligation to be creative. And when you don't force yourself to be creative, the creative thoughts just kind of come to you naturally. So I like to allow myself time in my schedule for that process to happen. And while I was doing that, I was thinking about the podcast and what I wanted to talk about today. So today I was thinking about how now that I'm a year in business, I talked to my one really, really cool client and very close friend yesterday for like 4 hours. And we were able to talk about so much good stuff and where we're at in our businesses. And I finally had like a friend to just kind of talk to about the struggles that I've been going through as a 1-year little baby business owner. And hopefully I can have her on the show. She would likely be one of the first guests. So if that does happen, hopefully you guys are in for a treat because our conversations are just so awesome. I literally love getting to talk to her. But in talking to her, it made me think about a lot. And one of the things that I was thinking about is how it can kind of feel lonely being a business owner. Me and her were kind of talking about this together. All of a sudden, it's kind of like, you have your friends, but then where you could relate to them with everything, now you almost feel like you relate to them with a lot less things. And it's not in any way, shape, or form like I'm better than you. Like it's not that. It's just more your brain starts to think differently as a business owner. You know, you're forced to make decisions on the daily that most people don't have to make in a lifetime. You know, people don't have to think that way. People don't have to make these decisions or problem solve. You know, if something breaks at work, you just tell your boss, and your boss contacts the proper staff to be able to go fix it. You know, when you're running your own thing, everything falls on you. So it like forces your brain to kind of change and evolve and adapt to be able to handle all of the different situations that can be thrown at you on a daily basis, and kind of just learn to roll with the punches, where a lot of times, you know, you don't have to learn how to do that. So we just kind of don't really have to worry about that. But as a business owner, you do. And it kind of makes you think this different way, that sometimes it makes you feel a little bit lonely, you know, like people don't really understand you anymore, or, you know, you can't like have certain types of conversations with certain types of people. And it is a little bit of a lonely feeling. And I was thinking about that, and how the podcast theme is the whole designated driver thing, and how when all of your friends are drinking and having fun and partying it up, and you have to sit there with your stupid water because you're the designated driver, how sometimes that can feel lonely. So in today's episode, I kind of wanted to pair the two worlds and talk a little bit about some of the loneliness that you can experience as a newfound business owner, at least some of the stuff that I've been experiencing, and how I'm kind of working through it. So initially, after starting my business, you know, I had to change and grow and evolve very quickly, uncomfortably so. And in doing all of that and moving at the pace I had to move, and start doing some of the things that I had to start doing in order to try to make this business profitable, so much of my day to day in looking at things in a problem solving kind of manner, where it's like, okay, the system isn't working this way. How can I get it to work that way? Or what can I do? Or what can I change? Or how can I improve? Learning about branding, learning that I knew nothing about branding when I first started, and how now I'm just starting to learn about branding, and all of these different things. It's tough because I don't really have anyone to talk to. Like, I don't want to say that I don't have anybody to talk to, but I think some of the mental struggles that come with being a business owner, a lot of people don't really understand, or can't understand, because they're not going through it. You know, they're not starting a business. They're not experiencing these things that we experience. So they really couldn't, it's more like they just don't know any better. You know, it's one of those weird things that you don't know unless you go through it. And I've really been working hard trying to be able to just stay positive and grow through what I go through. And it's been tough. And when I try to talk to people about it, like close friends or family or whatever, and kind of sharing some of my experiences, just the things that are getting me down, or the things that are making me feel depressed, and the things that are this, or and the things that are that, it's like they don't have this capacity to understand it. And it's at no fault of theirs. You know, it's like they try to be supportive, and I'm thankful for just that. But there's like a deeper level to everything that not everybody is going to understand. And oftentimes only business owners do understand. And not everybody's a business owner. Like, I don't have any business owners in my family. I don't have any business owners as friends. The business owners that I have met through doing this whole thing have quickly become friends. But starting out this journey, like, I really didn't have many people that knew about just business in general. And that was really hard, because it is a lot. It is a lot of late nights, early mornings. What am I doing? Who am I trying to help? What am I trying to do here? What is, like, who am I even? Like, me and my friend, we were talking yesterday about the identity crisis that we're both going through right now. Is like, you get to this point in your business and you're just like, you're staying up at night, like, who am I even? You know, and you're trying to figure out who you are, who your business is. There's so much stuff, and it's lonely if you don't have that person to talk to. And I can't stress enough the importance of trying to either join a small business support group, or, you know, like a small business community. I think everybody with the Designer Boss group is amazing. I think, everything that CJ and Abby and Brands by Robin and Made by James are doing in the community to raise awareness for just mental health in general with starting a small business, especially a creative one. Um, all of their stuff is amazing, and I can't wait to see how it grows and develops and changes. But it can be lonely. And if you're out there and if you're feeling a little bit lonely and you feel weird because all of these people, your friends, your family that have been like your bestest number one ever since day one, and now all of a sudden you feel like they don't really understand you. And that's a weird feeling. It's okay. You're not alone. That's normal. And that's something that is just a part of this process, but it's not going to last forever. Eventually, you are going to be able to grow into who you're supposed to be, find the people that can support you and talk to you about, just the way that you're feeling in your business and trying to help you be able to just let it strengthen you instead of letting it be an obstacle to you. So, learning all of this in real time, it's hard. It's weird. I didn't really anticipate it or expect it. I thought it was just like, oh, start a business and get your email going and that's it. But really, it's constantly remembering to be kind to yourself. It's constantly remembering to be a good boss to yourself. It's constantly remembering that what you're feeling is valid and you're not crazy. I feel like when I started this business, it was like I was feeling all of these emotions. I was so overwhelmed. I was so stressed. I was depressed. And I was like, well, this is what you wanted. This is your dream and you wanted this. So, like, buckle up, buttercup, and get comfortable. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It was like I wanted it to feel uncomfortable for some punishing way. And it was so messed up in my head. But I worked through that, and now I look at it more from a perspective of like, I am human and I am enduring a lot. This is why not everybody starts a business, because it's tough. And what I'm feeling is okay and what I'm feeling is normal. And honestly, I think that was such a help yesterday, getting to talk to this client and friend that is in the same spot as I am with their business. And most of the stuff that I'm feeling right now, they are too. Lots of struggles with certain things, your family seeing you a little bit of a different way and having to deal with that. I mean, it's tough. And these are all of the things that people don't really think about when starting a business. Nobody's really talking about it. So I want to talk about it. And it's okay if it's not going perfectly smooth and it's not a perfect straight line in an upwards direction. That's okay, because we're not supposed to be perfect. We're supposed to be perfectly imperfect. And I am learning that. It took me a long time. And I wish that I was able to catch on to it sooner, because it would have saved me a lot of stress. But I'm happy to be where I am. And I'm happy that I get to share my story the way that I've been. It's still uncomfortable trying to film a podcast. I hope it gets easier someday. But if you're struggling, just remember, it's part of your journey. You're going to be okay. You're going to survive this. Everything that you're going through is shaping you into the person that you are meant to become. And if you need somebody to lean on, DM me. Send me an email. Send me a chat wherever you can find me on my social media. And I will be more than happy to talk you through it and just let you have a space where you can talk about how you're feeling in your business, whether you're a creative or you're a blue collar worker, whoever it is listening to this. If you're doing that startup thing, I'm here for you to just be a friendly ear to listen, because it's tough. It definitely is tough. But I think the more we talk about our experiences and the more that we're able to share with the world, I think we are going to start shaping the world to be a better place. And I can't wait to be a part of it. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. There you have it, episode 6 of The Designated Designer. I can't even believe we're already at episode 6. It's crazy to think about, but I'm so happy that I'm able to get to do this. I'm so happy that I can, put these out every week. Hopefully I can stay consistent with that schedule, because this honestly is a ton of fun, and can't wait to catch you guys in the next episode. Keep it real.